have lots of really dope boss energy in the building tonight, and we're so excited to sit and chat with all of these amazing women who are doing so many great things, trailblazers. I love it. I love to see it, love to be around it. I love the sisterhood. So we're very, very excited. So we can't wait for you guys to catch this full episode. Shout out to everybody who's watching on the IG live. If y'all have any questions, make sure you pop it in because I'm watching, all right? Thank you for your support. We are on all major platforms right now.
Yes.
So make sure y'all check it out. Y'all support us, like, share, comment, follow, all of that good stuff. Any topics that you guys want us to cover that we haven't covered already, even if we have, let us know. We're all about, relationship, business, entertainment. This is the type of podcast that this is, but definitely, most importantly for us is we want to showcase everyone's voice. We want everyone to sit here and, share their story of authenticity, vulnerability, empowerment, and all that good stuff, because there's a lot of us creatives that are doing a lot of great things. So very excited. And it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
So of course we have a bunch of boss women in the building, right? So I'm very excited. As y'all know, also, G and I have done a rebrand, and we're very excited about it. So, we're Sip Fearlessly now. Shout out to Vodkilla for the sponsorship today. Cheers. We're definitely enjoying it. And, we welcome any, especially Black and brown owned, liquor brands to come, and we can, showcase y'all. And yeah, that's it. That's what we're all about here. So we can't wait to get started. Okay. So G, how you feeling? Let's kick it off on your
I'm feeling great, fearless.
Okay.
Ready to dive in and find out what these wonderful ladies are doing. By the way, I love what you guys doing, and I love that you guys came together. It's 3 of you guys, and I can't wait to speak about it. So
Yes.
excited.
So they are lady bosses, and it's 3 of y'all.
Yes.
Right? So we have here today Crystal, we have Arania, and we have Francine, who is not here with us today, but I would love to hear your story and how you guys came together. Absolutely. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about lady bosses and how that came about. And you can also do an intro of yourself.
Yes, definitely. So Crystal, one of the co-founders of the Lady Bosses. Lady Bosses was founded back in 2016. Me, Rainier, and Francine were best friends from high school. We've been together since '05. In high school, we kind of just stuck together. And then after high school, we started having events. Well, really just cookouts. They started as cookouts, and, everyone kind of gravitated to us and enjoyed the events. So we was like, we need to do something with this. So we started hosting networking events, started doing community events, and we also started mentoring high school females on our motto, which is bring out self-success, with self-development being the key. And we kind of took it from there, and now we're really looking to feed into our network and feed into women and help them develop professionally and personally. We have a lot of great things that we're working on. I don't know if you want to get into some of the things we have that we're working on right now.
Yes. We started with events. I feel like we're going to always have events. We're going to finish with events. So we do have upcoming events. Make sure you follow us on @_LadyBosses to stay updated with all future events. And right now we are in a mastermind session. So we're in a really cool mastermind session. After we finish this session, we will be opening up to the public. We started out with friends and family. It is going really, really good. We focus on our goals. We're reading a book right now called Rich and Righteous by Julian Gordon. It's all about shifting mindset and the way we think about wealth. So we're holding each other accountable. We're growing through the process. We're becoming vulnerable in the process. It is just amazing because honestly, I don't think I would sat down and read this book without this mastermind. And it keeps me focused and keeps me all right, what is my goals? I have to show up Saturday, so I need to be prepared. Did I do what I said I was gonna do? So it really is a wonderful thing, and I cannot wait until everyone have an opportunity to be a part of it.
Oh my God, so many amazing things. I love that. I love a good book club too. I think that, you guys empowering everyone to read is a great thing because not a lot of us either do it or have the time to do it. And there's
Right.
so much we can learn in that, even like just the way we speak and the vocabulary that we use and things like that. So I love that you guys are doing that. Let us know when the
Yes,
next one is.
definitely.
We will be, yes, we will support and we'll be involved, absolutely. So we're gonna dive into like, we'll ask you guys each questions about, your respective, careers and things like that, so you can share a little bit about what you've done. So Crystal, first and foremost, thank you for serving our country in the Air Force. Yes, we commend you. We salute you. Thank you so much for that. I think that's amazing. Yes, I think it's so badass when women join the military, and because I've done documentaries in the past about a lot of the things that go on in the military with women. So, we're not going to dive into that today.
Right.
But I commend you and salute you for, representing our country.
Thank you.
Yes. So aside from that, you also are a huge financial literacy advocate.
Yes, I am.
And so am I. So we have
That's
like similar
awesome.
backgrounds.
Yes.
So also from the accounting finance industry
Yes.
myself. So I love how you've used what you've done and are giving back to the community. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
All right. So with that, I've been in finance for about 10 years now. So I went from the private sector to the nonprofit sector, and now what I'm really working on is giving back to the community, using my expertise and what I've learned along the way, because I also have my MBA in accounting. So using all of that knowledge and expertise that I have to really give back. And I want to start with the youth. I want to start with the teens. It starts there because they're the ones that's coming up the next generation. They're the ones that's going to end up in debt. They're the ones that's going to mess up their credit. They're the ones that's going to go to college and not know about taxes, not know about entrepreneurship, not know about all these different things that it's a life skill that's underrated that they should be teaching us in schools. So that's really what I'm trying to tap into and really give back there, give them that knowledge, that expertise so that they can make better financial decisions in their future when they start working, when they start getting acquainted with money. They know better so that they can do better. So really working on that, and I'm a big advocate to giving back, to working with the community. So I feel like it's only right to use what I know and use my knowledge and my expertise to do that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And here we're huge supporters of educating the youth. Like myself, DWI, who I actually didn't formally introduce you guys to, but he's our engineer. He is the founder of the Matrix Studios, and he works a lot with the youth. I work with the youth as well, and I love how a lot of us are transitioning into that right now, where we're using what we know to give back to the youth, because you are right. I speak to the students sometimes, and the first thing they say is, "I want to make money." Right? I'm like, okay, you're gonna pitch your business, and at the end, the winner's gonna get a scholarship. Oh yeah, let's do it. That's what I want to do. But what are you gonna do with the scholarship afterwards? Right? So we're not having those conversations. I'm glad that we are now introducing, all of these topics into the school system. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. But I want to talk a little bit about your experience in the even profit and nonprofit sector of the financial industry, and how you navigated that, because I know for me it was very challenging, because at the time when I started, it wasn't so progressive as it is now with diversity and inclusion and things like that. So I definitely felt a lot of times as the odd man out. So tell me a little bit about your story.
So for the private sector, that I was a junior accountant. Well, I started as accounts receivable, and then I became a junior accountant there. So that I was there for about 7 years. So that was kind of steady. That was I was complacent there, not really learning much. Just doing what they asked me to do. And then I went to the nonprofit realm, and that's really where I got a lot of my experience. So there, I worked for a nonprofit down by Wall Street, and my career there progressed pretty quickly. I started there as a staff accountant. I became a senior accountant, became finance director. I was over a team of 13. I was over the payroll department. And there I learned a lot. I saw how numbers talk pretty much. I learned that numbers really tell a story about an organization. Numbers tell you a lot. And that's really where I got a depth of my knowledge, and I was able to use, the experience and the degree that I had to really dive in and, help them with their books when it came to financials and reading the financials and breaking down the financials and going to board meetings and running a team. So I got my leadership skills from there, and I was able to grow pretty quickly and got to the point where, how can I say it in a nice way? They wanted more. They expected a lot more than what I was giving, and I was already giving a lot. So it got to the point where it became toxic, and it became a place that, you know, I no longer felt happy and I no longer wanted to be. So even, you know, with the big position that I held, I felt like it was my time to go. And now I'm just working on the journey of giving back.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I love that. Kudos to you. Like, kudos to you. And you know that environment does get like that, you know, and it takes a lot of your time. You know, so if you do have families and stuff like that, it takes a lot of time away from your children and things like that. So, you know, that's kind of like the aspect I was coming from too. So I can relate and I can understand. Absolutely. But so let's switch gears a little bit. And let's go to you, Ariana. Okay, so 5 years in real estate. Let's talk a little bit about that journey.
Yes, so I started out as an agent. Honestly, I started pursuing that because of my sister Francine, who is obviously the other founder of Lady Bosses. We are twins, and she's always up to something. And so she
you
was.
guys are actual twins.
We are actually twins,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
So she got me, you know, she told me about that. She wanted to do that. And I was working as a donor coordinator at the time. And it was just like the environment. I did not like the environment. I did not like the people that I was working with. I just started. I think I was there about 3 months. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm out of here. This is not going to be for me. And so I started that. But when I started real estate, COVID happened. So I was, as an agent, I did some rentals, I did some sales, and then I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I'm stable during this, whatever this is happening in the world at this time. And so I got into property management, which I am still in right now. So right now I'm doing property management for luxury rentals in NYC, in Manhattan. And that's kind of how real estate started for me and still is for me right now.
But I also see that you're doing like a transition. With the helping entrepreneurs and building brands, and how the shift happened. How did you go from real estate now to wanting to do that?
Yeah, so actually, I was one of the people that started Lady Bosses with obviously them, but I helped build the brand of Lady Bosses as far as the name, the logo. This was sketched out actually, and then we had it digitized. Things that we were doing. Yeah, so we were building that, and people really took to Lady Bosses, and we didn't know where we fit in at the time.
Right.
We were doing a little bit of everything. Again, speaking with the youth, hosting events. What else we had going on?
Giving back to the community.
Giving back to
doing
the community.
Toy drives.
So many different things we were doing, and people could not understand. But one thing is, they loved Lady Bosses. Wherever we were at and whatever we said we had going on, people showed up. And it was also the same people. So we had a group of supporters that was like, whatever it is y'all doing, I went in. They were investing in us before we knew kind of like what we had going on. Right. And so it's like, you're building a brand, right? And then when I got into real estate, there's some aspects of it that I like, but some of it that I'm like, as an agent, this isn't for me. You know, like when you know, and I'm like, you know what, but what I do love is, I love entertainment, and agents is a form of entertainment.
Right.
Speaking, all of this is entertainment. And one of the things that is how you show up, and we're always showing up a certain way. So it's like, for me, I want to help people with one self-identity and then brand identity. Some people with their self-identity, they are meshing with their brand identity. They understand that. But then there are some people who are not necessarily where they want to be, but it's like, okay, let's make sure your brand is there and then get you to that point. Right? So that's where branding come in, marketing comes in. And so now I am in the process of transitioning over to just being fully marketing and branding.
I love it.
I love that.
Yes.
We need that. It's
Right.
Like you said, not everyone knows how to merge the two. Not everyone, or even separate it in a way, you know, but just understand how to present yourself, how to put your brands out there and things like that, but still be your fully authentic self, which I think is what a lot of people struggle with. So I want to ask you, ladies, so I know you mentioned a lot of things on how you created Lady Bosses and things like that. You saw you had a community and stuff like that. So what else did you think that was lacking in the community that you wanted to bring and provide?
So good. I think you got
Go first.
So honestly, we always say Lady Bosses change our life. Had we not created this organization, we would not be on the road to success right now. And it was because we created this organization that forced us to level up.
Right.
Because we were outside. We were having a grand old time. And once we realized, like, let's do more with this name. Let's do more with this brand. What do we love? And we didn't have the mentorship growing up. And this is why we were outside.
Right,
We didn't have the mentorship. So it started with the youth. And it's like, okay, if we are going to say we're going to be mentors to the youth, we can't be outside. We cannot be moving the way that we're moving. And so we pulled back. And we got into the readings, and we got into the workshops, and we went to the events, and we watched how people maneuver that was successful. And that's how we learned. And that's when we decided, you know, we need to be there for the youth. We need to be better leaders. We need to be mentors, because we don't want people to take our path. Don't take the long road if you don't have to. If you don't have to, you know, and I feel like as leaders, all of us, you know, that is our jobs, is to help give them the shortcut way of becoming successful.
Exactly.
Right.
The tools. Yes. Yes.
And providing that mentorship that we didn't have.
Yes, that's the
That's
biggest
exactly
We
where I
always
was going to
need-
go with it.
We
That's
always
what we
need
were
that
missing.
that someone to put us in the right path, because we don't know. We don't come from it. So if we don't come from it, we don't know any better. So I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Individually, it's three of you guys, right? So what are your roles individually? Do you guys have individual roles within the organization that you each play, or you guys just take one idea and just tackle it, all three of y'all together?
Yep.
So,
Go, girl, go, go.
no, I was going to say a kind of a mix of both.
Okay.
There's times we divide it up. So of course she's great at marketing. She's great at branding. So she takes on that role. I'm great at finance, so I take on that role of it. And Francine's great at talking to people, talking to the community, networking. You know, getting people to know about us, to come out to events, that type of thing. And then there's times where we sit on the phone and we all talk about finances. We all talk about marketing. We all talk about the community. And we all build the business together. Right. So there's times we have separate roles, and there's times that, we kind of intertwine it all, and we just mastermind together.
Right, the dynamic trio. Okay.
Well, I love it, and I commend it, because sometimes it's not easy to work with a group. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing. So I want to ask about that. You guys are best friends, you're business partners. Are there, power of collaboration, sisterhood, like everything? But I'm sure there were some learning curves. So are there any hurdles that you had to go through working together, and how did you get through them?
Honestly, not really. So her and Francine, of course, they're sisters, they're twins. So it's a little easier for them. I'll throw that in there. Right. They definitely do. So, I think that's the easy part. But I think we work so well together, and we don't really bump heads as a group, because we started out as best friends. We started out before we were business partners. So business partners aside, we're still best friends.
Right.
At the end of the day, Francine's still her sister. At the end of the day, we're still best friends. Without the business, we're still best friends. So that's the way we started, and we hold that dear and close to us. So when it comes to the business, it's just like, we'll argue today about business or something else, and I'll talk to you tomorrow when we got to talk business again, type of thing. And, I'll talk to you tomorrow about how your day was, how life is, that type of thing. So the two kind of mesh, but I think it's because we started out as best friends first.
Right.
You had the foundation already.
Right. Since high school, that's so
Yeah.
long.
And I think even when we first started, we used to ask ourselves, like, if things get rocky, what are we choosing, the business or the friendship? We're like, we got each other.
Like, we can build another business if anything.
Exactly. Yes, that's actually something that we've spoken about, my sister and I, because it's not about us today, but we did only meet like 2.5 years ago, because we share a dad in common. So that's something that we So, for us, we've had that conversation where, her stepping into like doing the podcast and learning and things like that. We've had that conversation where we're like, okay, just know that it's us first.
Right.
It's our sisterhood first. If anything, if there's uncomfortability, we will, toss this and focus on us. So I love that, you know, that you guys know that about each other. You support each other in that way. Absolutely. Yeah, because, you know, egos can get in the way. There's a lot of things that can happen. And also, you guys are all on different paths. So you're all doing different things, you know. So sometimes there can, you know, be some hesitation or some interest of maybe one of you guys thinking like, oh, maybe I should do real estate. Oh, maybe I should, because that happens, you know. But I'm glad that you guys understand that this is, you sit in your power. This is what you're experiencing. That's what you're experiencing. And Francine as well. So I like that. And instead you build each other up.
Right.
Yes. So I love that. I love that. So shout out to sisterhood, Women's History Month, all of that good stuff. So let's see. I wanted to ask you first about the youth really quick. Let me see. Wait, I have my question here. What are some of the issues that the youth are facing during their school life right now? It can be personal, or it can be, you know, subject-wise, something that they're lacking.
Social media. Trying to keep up with social media and the celebrities, and, you know, just keeping up with the Joneses, trying to be popular, trying to follow everything that's going on today. I see that that's a big thing with the youth. And another thing is violence, you know, whether it's bullying, body shaming, just violence in the schools amongst each other, amongst themselves. And, you know, these kids went through COVID. COVID was a tough time.
Yes,
a lot of these kids have a lot of anger in them. They have, you know, a lot of issues at home that they bring to school. And, you know, these teachers a lot of the time don't know what's going on. So, you know, they kind of just, they're just trying to teach at one point. And then, you know, the counselors don't really know either. So these kids are dealing with some things these days. If you sit down and talk to the kids these days, their mindset is different than what I had growing up. And I'm just like, wow. And the responsibility some of them have, you know, it's sad for some of them, but, you know, it's life for them. It's what they know as life. So, yeah, I think really just the times they're going through and violence right now, and definitely, you know, their mindset, their mindset, a lot of them, their mindset's all messed up, whether it's, you know, they need a therapist or, you know, something at home. And, you know, in our community, people look down on, you know, therapy and things like that. But I feel like that's really big, especially with them going through COVID. COVID was a crazy time, especially for them. They were out of school. They don't have no, you know, type of interaction. They need that. They need that type of stuff. So
I also feel like the social media is what has influenced the issue a lot, because we didn't have that. And yeah, we had issues, but not like the issues they have today. Like the entitlement, the competition, the I'll get this at any means. Like I never spoke like that as a teenager. It was like, mom, whatever my mom gave me, that's what I went with. If I wanted something else, I got a job. They don't even want to work. So it has a lot to do with social media.
And then you talk about social media. We had MySpace. We were worried about our top 8 friends. We
wasn't
worried about what other people was posting.
Music.
And music, my background.
We had AIM, the side kids on AIM, that we didn't have much. So
I always say I'm thankful we didn't have Instagram, and I'm thankful. I'm just thankful, because honestly, for me, I feel like what is going to be issue, if not already is one, the self-identity and how to control their emotions.
Right.
I really do foresee that. And so, especially when you scroll every second and you see, oh, I want to do this. Oh, no, I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I want to do this. And it's like, no, figure out who you are.
Right.
Because that's what you need to be. You need to figure out who you are.
Even for the kids who are not trying to get it by all means necessary, are not trying to compete, they're feeling super discouraged because they're feeling like they can't fit in. They're feeling like they're, you know, I'm never going to have an opportunity to do anything to make, you know, make anything out of myself when I grow up, because they feel like they can't add up to all the kids, you know, what they're doing and things like that. So it's a hard time. It's a hard time. Yeah. Like when I speak to them myself also, I feel so much empathy towards them, and I just want to like try to help all of them. You know, sometimes they're like, you know, miss, I just have ADD. I can't stay still. I just have to get up and I have to walk around. And then they're like, also, you know, respect, you know, they're like, I give respect, but I have to be respected by the teachers, you know, and stuff like that. And the way I'm being spoken to, you know, I can't accept it and I don't like it. And it's just, but it's also not the teacher's fault either, because it's hard for one teacher to understand 30 kids' different emotions and different things that they're going through at home. But I digress. But I'm glad we're doing the work. So yes, kudos to us and everybody who's doing the work with the youth out there. Thank you so much for that. So last question I have, and we talked about it a little bit, but what are some of the issues or gaps that you see in adults as they are navigating either their careers or their businesses as an entrepreneur?
Support system. I would definitely say support system, having accountability, being around like-minded people, and having someone to talk to and rely on, when you're trying to navigate business. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. Having a business, even if it's a side hustle, it's not easy, having to grow your network, having to get out there, especially if that's not your personality.
Right. Thank you. You spoke for me.
So, definitely finding that community. I feel like a lot of people lack in that community. And then, being able to balance time, balance family, balance the business. And that's a big thing, being able to do that. So I would say those two things.
I would say confidence. I would say some of our millennials were lacking the confidence. The confidence, the faith to believe that it's possible. And just taking on so much pressure that is causing delays in getting started for some people or staying consistent. So I think that area, I can see some, entrepreneurs are struggling there. And because there's lack of confidence, there's lack of action. There's lack of results. So I do think we need to get into a space where, again, it's that self-identity, that self-awareness, taking deep breath, taking a second, because I know life right now is having everybody running marathons in there. Listen, I know, me too sometimes. But we got to go back to our child selves. We got to go, we do. We got to stop trying to feel like we have to take on and the pressure of being 30s, 40s, whatever, and just say, I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to do my part, and I'm going to give the rest to the higher up, Right. I feel like there's just so much pressure to get it right, to be perfect, to be out there. And it's just like, no, figure out you once again, figure out what you like to do and go after it and stay in it no matter what. And I think that's what we should.
And I like that you mentioned your child self. So that's something that a lot of us have to do too, especially when we're going into the entrepreneurship world, because we're betting on ourselves. So we need to take the time to do healing if we have to do healing. We need to go back to our childlike self. And what did we experience when we were, children, and how is it affecting us? How is it showing up now in our adulthood? So I think that's something that we have to do also, because we can be our own worst enemies, and we can block our own blessings, and things like that. So that's very important. Yeah, absolutely. And once we deal with those issues, we'll build the confidence and we'll build all of these other things that we need to, to be an entrepreneur. So we don't have that much time left.
This was so much
That
fun.
was quick.
Yeah. And sorry, we didn't thank
by
you ladies in the beginning, but thank you all for having us on your platform.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting.
We look forward to having all of you back and sitting down with you again, also supporting anything that you're doing, So tell us a little bit about like what you have coming next and how people can support and follow you individually and also as the Lady Bosses.
So for Lady Bosses, you can follow us Instagram, _Lady Bosses. We definitely have an event coming up next month, and look out for that mastermind. It's coming. And individually, sophisticated _ KKAY. You can follow me there.
Yep, you can follow me at EJ_did_it. EJ did it. And you can follow Francine at She's Invested.
Yes, I love it. And I think somebody from your team commented, they were like, I love my team. So shout out to your team. Shout out to the Lady Bosses. Shout out to your 1/3 that's not here today. Shout out to Francine. And thank you, everybody who was watching on the live. We appreciate it. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
This was fun.
So many
Yes.
gems. We learned so many things. So I hope you guys, take a lot of this information, take it serious, take it in, because these are the important things that you need to look at when you step into your career, entrepreneurship, all of that. And there are support teams out there like the Lady Bosses that can help you with self-development if you need it, okay? So definitely tap in and follow them and all of that good stuff. And sip fearlessly. Shout out to Vakila for the sponsorship, and we'll be back.
And shift that mindset.
Yes.
I want to talk to you about real estate.
Yeah. Let's go.
I am in the midst of taking this course to take the exam, but I want to give